Good day, friends. Miloa here, and today we're going to do the blooms of annarlosse that starts with Herondale and the festival grounds. Let's go! I would not normally involve myself with such matters, but my brother Edlithon travels to Mithlond, there to depart Middle-earth for the undying lands. We said our farewells just yesterday, and I tarried here at the festival grounds, seeking a balm for my unsettled thoughts. I could not make the decision for him, but neither am I ready to sail into the west, and the conflict wars within me. Edlithon and I were given to traveling throughout Middle-earth, and together we found great joy in the beauty of far-off places. We rested in Rivendell and called it home, but never for long. We were always off again on our journeys before the sun had set a dozen times, and we wandered the wilds and came to villages unfamiliar and strange. This was our practice for almost an age of the world, but Edlithon grew sorrowful at the changes he saw, the places that were damaged by the ravages of war, the losses inflicted by Sauron. In time we did not journey as often, and we spent longer in Rivendell than we did away. This has been the last of our travels. My brother departs, but the memory of my wanderings with him remain, and that is how I know your herbalist friends are mistaken. The purple annarlosse of today bear little resemblance to the annarlosse of legend. If you tell them this, I will describe what I know of the annarlosse to them and to you, if you wish. Nethelus. I do not know what this elf thinks he knows, but I have never heard his name before. How many tomes of herb lore has he studied? Not only that, how many has he written? My master Galathyr has written innumerable such tomes, and is a noted expert on countless subjects related to the many breeds and uses of every plant that grows upon this Middle-earth. All in Minas Tirith know of his expansive knowledge, and none would dare doubt its breadth or its accuracy. I will hear out this elf, but only in order to reveal him for the charlatan he is, and you can tell him so. Listen well, and I will tell both these herbalists and you what I know of the legendary annarlosse. Many are the varieties of flower that bloom in the undying lands beyond the reach of the mortals, never to be seen by man or dwarf or hobbit. Elves know of them by song or story, if not by sight, and that knowledge brings them joy or sorrow in turns. But some flowers came to grow in distant soil. The annarlosse was one of these, and it grew in profusion in Numenor across the sea. Tall it was, like the men of that land, and as it grew it faced the rising of the sun in the east, and was crowned with the light of morning. The annarlosse were held to be an emblem of the house of Elros. Seeds of the annarlosse were brought to Middle-earth by Elendil. He sent them to be planted wherever the men of the west came to settle. But that means annarlosse should bloom in many places, does it not? Milgamel. Every student of history knows the tale of Elendil and his flight from Numenor, and that he brought plants and seedlings of high birth and low with him to Middle-earth. But if he ordered such flowers as the annarlosse be planted wherever his people settled, they should grow still in abundance. That is why my former master believed the annarlosse to be its true descendant, and on this I cannot say I disagree. How came Herondale to know of the flower's history? Netheless. Bah! If these tall flowers were truly planted by the men of the West throughout Middle-earth, where are they now? Annarlosse grows in many places, but I have not seen these flowers you describe in Gondor. Neither have I seen them throughout Ithilien. If you are not a liar, perhaps you are a fool, but I should wish to be neither. How do you claim to come by this knowledge? Not by study, I warrant. Herondel. No, you are right, Netheless. I have not come by this knowledge through study, or at least not through the study of old books or a herb master's teaching. My brother Edlithon and I walked the hills and valleys of Middle-earth long ago. We took great joy in our wanderings, and every new sight filled our hearts. Nothing cheered us so much as the annarlosse that lined the roads we walked. They grew in the gardens of Minas Anor, far to the south. They grew too in the courts and along the paths of Numinus, city of the king. But, Milgamel, what happened to them? Herondel, they died. It began with the Norian was slain in Mordor. It continued during the long decline of the northern kingdom. And then, one sad day, there were none left. My brother and I did not journey together much after that. We just grew apart. That is the tale. Now you must understand why I feel so strongly that the annarlosse be remembered as they were, and not as a distant herb master pretends them to be. Netheless. I'm not saying I believe this elf Miloascape, but he has given me some food for thought. Edlithon and I did not travel as often once the annarlosse died out. It was only one sign of the wound Sauron inflicted upon Middle-earth, but it affected we two more personally than many others. I wonder if the annarlosse grows still in the Undying Lands. Perhaps when I come there at last, I will find my brother smiling among them, eager to chastise me for delaying so long to see them. It is a happy thought, even if that is all. Talk to Fairgold. Fairgold Puttyfoot. I beg your pardon, and hope you will excuse me, but I could not help but overhear the telling of your friend's story. I'm not very good with names, so I do not quite know what flower he was talking about, but it seems to me that it bears some resemblance to the humble sunflower. They grow in the Shire, you know. Talk to Herondel. That hobbit believes that some strain of annarlosse still grows within the bounds of her land? Can it be true? That concludes today's adventure. Please hit the like and subscribe button to not miss an episode. Thanks for watching.